had this revolution recently about how powerful and how magnetic and how valuable my energy actually is. How powerful women are just in general and how much power we have, but we end up losing in the process because we feel like we're not good enough or we feel like we're not enough. We have the ability to create entire realities. We have so much power that we don't even realize that we have. You've probably heard this before. You can tell a lot about a woman by the man that she chooses because the man is a direct reflection of what's going on in her inner world. If her inner world is caused by stress and chaos and all of the negative emotions, she's going to end up with a partner that doesn't value her. She's going to end up with a partner that does the bare minimum, that wants to go 50-50, all of the bullshit, because she doesn't value herself enough to know that she is so worthy of the beautiful things that life has to offer just by simply existing. Today we're talking about the masculine and the feminine and what it really means and what you actually bring to the table. Just a little bit of a trigger warning. This is probably going to trigger some people, and I almost hope that it does. If it does trigger you, I want you to dive deep into why this episode was so triggering, but let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Way Too Wifey. I'm your host, respectfully Gabby, and in this podcast, we talk all things dating, relationships, and of course, self-love in this modern day. And if you are new here, hi, I'm Gabby. I'm an online dating coach where I help you transform your confidence to live your best lives inside and outside of relationships. So if you are tired of being stuck in the same unfulfilling patterns, if you are tired of feeling stuck where you stand, the same situationships that you keep falling into, my 8-week transformation program may be exactly what you need to get started. I've designed this program for my anxious attachment girlies to help overcome your anxious attachment, your people-pleasing tendencies, your relationship self-sabotage, and your low self-esteem. What makes this program unique is that it's backed by science-based strategies combined with subconscious reprogramming to help you rewire and reframe your brain to feeling like your best self again. With direct one-on-one support from me, we'll dive deep in retraining your brain so that you can start attracting and keeping better in your life. So if you're ready to get started today, hit the link in my bio, book a discovery call with me. Also, huge news. I got some updates for you guys. I am releasing some merch. I have a couple different colors, this gray one, and then some other ones that will be available online on the link on my bio. So go check that out. Sign up for my newsletter so you don't miss anything coming out, any hot tea that I'm going to be telling you, any promotions, and sometimes free giveaways for coaching sessions. So go hit the newsletter. I promise you won't regret it. It's only once a week. I promise I won't bombard you with emails. Okay. Also, if you could hit the like, hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so you'll never miss another episode. Make sure to leave that 5-star rating if you've been watching this for a while and you have gotten some ounce of value out of this. Please hit the 5-star rating or the thumbs up. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. You could be tuning in to any podcast and you are tuning in to mine today. So I appreciate you. To be honest, I have avoided making this type of video because one, I think it's very triggering. One, I think it's very controversial. And speaking on the masculine and the feminine, I think we're at a war within ourselves. We're at a war in the world. We're being divided by talking, oh, well, like men are shit or women are shit, or putting ourselves against each other. When I do think that we all have something to offer. We all have something to bring to the table. And the more that you realize that, the more that you see that and what you actually bring to the table as a woman or as a man or whatever. First of all, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. But I think the more that you actually realize how much value you bring to the table, the more you will start showing up as the best version of yourself and attracting more and attracting better in your life. Because I do think you are a reflection of whatever comes into your life and what you choose to entertain. So if you think that all men are shit, you're probably only going to deal with men. You're probably only going to see relationships that are shit where men are treating the woman like shit. Whereas if you believe that there are great men out there and you think very highly of them and you think the world of certain men, I think that is what you bring into your life. And I hate the fact that a lot of my podcast clips, I do sometimes do this for a little bit of a trigger because let's be honest, that's what goes off online and that's what people are attracted to. The more men that come to me, they're like, why do you hate men? I don't hate men. I think men are great. I think men are really cool. I do think we all as a collective need to be doing better. I kind of getting a little bit off topic here, but we're going to be talking about the masculine and the feminine. I had a conversation a while ago with someone that I really, really, really was into. He was very emotionally unavailable. First of all, let's start there. But he treated me so well. Actually took me on dates. We did all the things. We hung out, we enjoyed each other's company. It was great. It was great while it lasted. But I remember one conversation specifically where we were cuddling in bed, just talking about life and catching up. And he was like, men need women. We really do. He's like, I could never do this. I could never talk like this with my male friends. And he's in business with a bunch of men. And he's like, I hang out with men all day. I'm around them all the time. We do guys' lunches, dinners. We hang out. We're always in each other's energy. It is just nice to just relax and feel like myself. And I just think that all men need this like stress release from a woman, be the little baby selves that they were, where their mother was nurturing towards them. At the time, I don't think it really clicked. I was like, yeah, like men do need us. Like, yeah, of course they do, right? It wasn't until I kind of felt like shit the next day. I felt like emotionally drained. I felt like he was taking so much of my energy. I don't know when I'm going to hear from him again. I don't know what this really is. I don't know, this doesn't feel right anymore. He's taking all of my energy emotionally, and then he's going off and living his best life. Whereas I love hanging out with him in the moment. It feels really great. But the day after, I feel this emotional anxiety where I am questioning everything, worried about like when I'm going to see him again, when I'm going to hear from him again. And just, this isn't healthy. This isn't a healthy dynamic. He's getting everything that he wants out of this. Why am I allowing this to happen in my life? It was such a big wake-up call, realizing how valuable my energy it was, because it had happened a little bit after the fact with someone else, maybe not as deeply, but I'm gifting my energy away way too easily. These men, of course, they're going to feel great in my presence. I'm nurturing, I'm caring, I'm loving. But what am I actually getting out of this? Like maybe they're taking me out to dinner. So what? Deeper than the monetary value of that. Energetically, they're taking and taking and taking. And I'm left the next day like, what? I don't like how I feel. This doesn't feel good. I feel drained. I really had to tap in with myself and do like a little bit of a detox, because the men that were coming into my life, all they wanted to do was take from me. And I think the more like loving and caring and nurturing you are, of course a man is going to want to be in your presence. Like it feels good. And even as a woman, like they don't get this type of love from their male friends, so they want to take it from you. Realize that exchange is so much deeper than whatever he's taking me out to dinner. It is what it is. They should feel this is such a valuable exchange that the least that they could do is pay for your meal. I'm baffled these days that men are really getting away with like not paying or going 50-50. Let's be honest. When you hang out with your girlfriends, it is such a good feeling. Like we are loving, we're caring, we talk to each other on an emotional level, we open up. It feels really good being in the presence of our girlfriends. Like, and I think the more that I'm growing up, I'm really realizing, and having more solid friendships, that I'm really realizing how good it feels to have good women connections in your life. And if you don't feel that good in your friends' presence, you need to pick better friends, because I can almost guarantee you every time I leave my girlfriends, I'm like, ugh, I needed that. It was such a release. Like I feel good. Even FaceTime calls with my best friends from back home, I leave that conversation, I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. I just needed to talk to my best friend. I just needed to talk to my mom. I just needed to talk to some woman who fucking gets it. I just hope you step away from this episode and realize how much your energy is valuable if you really put forth energy into yourself. Because when you're not healed, I don't think that your energy is as valuable, to be honest. Like I know that might be triggering, but the me from a couple years ago, yes, I was loving, I was nurturing, but I was also someone that you can walk all over, and someone that you can take advantage of, someone that didn't have much standards for herself. Do I feel like that was as valuable? And also maybe not being the best girlfriend for my friends, do I think that was as valuable? Not saying that I didn't hold any value, but I think that I hold so much more value now because I'm emotionally stable. I will challenge someone if I need to. I will speak up for myself if I need to. There's so much more value I provide now than whereas I was very insecure, talked bad about women. Like that's where I was before. And I it's fine. Like if you're there, just know that you can get out of it. You just have to make the steps to get out of it so that you can actually show up in a loving, healthy, beautiful relationship. Like I think it all starts with you, because the more that you blame men for your problems, you're not taking any responsibility for healing yourself, because when you've healed yourself, you don't even tolerate those men that treat you like shit. Like it's not even something that I even look at now that I'm like, oh, the toxicity, it feels good. No, like you're not going to get any more of my energy. You're not even worth my emotional energy anymore. But when you're emotionally sound, you give someone a safe space, you're not judgmental, you don't try to fix anyone's problems, you're just there and present. That holds so much value, because look at today's generation. It's not everywhere. There's so many people that haven't healed. There's so many people that are working through shit, that hurt people just to hurt people because they've been hurt, and it's this constant cycle that we need to fucking break. And to be honest with you, I have so many clients nowadays that are boss babes. Like I love my clients so much. I'm like, I look at them, I'm inspired by them, because I'm like, you're a bad bitch. You bring so much to the table, taking care of yourself, because no man at this point, up until this point, has been able to prove to you it was safe for you to rely on a man. I think that sometimes, yes, it's great to be driven. Yes, it's great to have goals. I almost think that sometimes it is preventing you from just being a fucking woman and falling back and allowing things to happen. Because I will say this, I'm still driven. I'm still passionate about what I do. I have goals for myself, right? But I think when I actually started to fall back and I'm like, I deserve everything that comes to me. Like I'm open to receiving what comes for me. And I want this. More opportunities started to fall on my lap. More clients started coming to me. I was able to quit my job and do something that I actually like doing. Your world will open up for you the more that you heal and the more that you think that you're worthy of the things that you actually want. So I was having this conversation with my best friend the other day. We talked for like 3 hours about this. She was like, well, we live in such a society where people feel entitled to, like, women feel entitled that they deserve all of the things. They deserve a man to pay for everything. They deserve a man to do this. But if you can't help a man grow through what he's going through, then do you really deserve to reap those rewards? And to that, I had this to say. We do live in a entitled society nowadays, and that's just facts. I think there's a difference between knowing what you want, knowing what you bring to the table, versus being entitled, right? Being entitled is like, I deserve everyone to revolve their lives around me. I deserve every man to show up for me day one and give me all that he can give me. He can give me trips, dinners, bags, whatever. And I'm not going to give anything in return because I'm just that girl. I always think back to this T-Pain song. And in the intro, it goes, have you ever been in a club and have a chick run up on you and kind of tell you to buy her a drink? It's not what I can do, it's what I will do. And attitude is everything. And I take that with me literally everywhere. Because attitude really is everything. Like, yes, I think I deserve great things from men. I deserve for a man to treat me like a princess. Bare minimum, as an exchange, the bare minimum, reciprocating energy, right? Like I'm giving him this safe space and we don't realize how valuable this is. I'm giving him this emotional, energetic, safe space to open up and be vulnerable, be emotionally nurturing and caring. Let me just say that there is a statistic, there's a study that being in the presence of a woman increases your oxytocin, especially women who are nurturing and caring, whereas the same is not proven true about a man. Know that your essence, your being, your divine femininity literally has the power to increase your happy hormones. You're making someone happy just by being in their presence. Let's be honest, being around like your great girlfriends, it's proven to be true. Like I have a great time. I always leave my girlfriends feeling great. Whereas if I'm with a man the next day, there's a lot of times where I feel fucking drained and I don't want to entertain another guy for months because I'm like, ugh, I can't even be around them because I feel like energetically they're taking all of my love and nurturing and caring and then running off and doing whatever, right? Know that that is what you bring to the table as a woman. That holds so much power and so much value as opposed to, okay, a man is buying me something, what value is that really bringing? The least that they can do is pay for a meal. The least that they can do is show up and give me this safe space that I can open up freely to them, that I can be myself and I can fully relax into my full feminine and just exist. That is enough. That is enough for the right person, and the right person will recognize that. But I think we have it all twisted. Our society has made it seem for women to show up in this energy of like, oh, well, what do you bring to the table? To be honest, years ago, I used to panic at this question because I'm like, I mean, I know I bring a lot. Like, I feel like people around me are growing and are better off with me in their lives. I've never seen a man do better without me, right? But tangibly, what am I bringing? I don't know. Because I'm like, okay, well, like, I don't know. What do I bring to the table? That would make me like, okay, now I have to hustle. Now I have to be successful. Now I have to do all the crazy things in order for him to want me. The right man doesn't give a fuck about that. The man who's in his feminine gives a fuck about that. The man who wants to go 50-50 gives a fuck about how driven you are. And when a man is like, oh, I love how ambitious you are, I'm like, skirt, I'm out of there, bye. Like, yes, maybe it's attractive in the sense that I have my own life and I have my own passions and I love what I do. Maybe it's okay in that sense, but in the sense that like, okay, I love that you're making your own money and you don't have to depend on me. I already know where this is going and I don't want any part of it. Yes, I have my own goals, I have my own things, but the value that I'm bringing to you, I need you to show up and bring value in the way that a man is supposed to bring value. Being able to protect and provide. If I don't feel safe energetically, financially, emotionally, if I don't feel safe in your presence, why would I even give you my energy? I feel safe by myself. I feel great. My life is great. My friends are great. I feel good in their energy. So if you're not providing me this space to be myself and feel safe and protected, I don't need to be there. Truly, I think that's kind of where the entitlement comes in, right? That I was talking about with my friend. I'm like, it's okay for us to have needs. Like, and I think a lot of men make us feel bad for financially wanting to feel safe with a man. If a man can't match my level at the bare minimum or be doing better than me, then why would I even entertain it? Because I'm not going to feel like I can fully be myself because I am already stressed out. I'm worried, is he going to be able to afford our dinner? I'm worried, am I asking him for too much? Is this too much? Like, I don't want him to do all the things because I don't feel like he can actually do it. If I don't feel like you're able to financially meet where I'm at, then honestly, what is the point? I'm very happy in my own life. That is only one pillar, right? Just the finances. He needs to provide a safe space. And I just remember thinking back, like feeling so guilty for having a man show up for me. Like, why did I feel so guilty for having a man show up for me? Because I didn't think that he could do it. So if I don't think that a man can do it, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life feeling like I'm walking on eggshells in a sense. I feel bad for making him show up for me. No, I want him to want that for himself, and then he can show up for me. Anyway, I'm saying all of this to say it is okay to have needs and expectations in a relationship. But I think when you're not grateful for what he brings to the table, if you're not investing in him equally, of like being that support system, not trying to fix his problems, but being that emotional support of like, I'm here for you if you need me. And a lesson that I learned a long time ago was talking to this guy, and he was very toxic, I will say that. But there was one thing that I kind of took from this. He had some kind of problem or like something was going on with work, and I was giving him suggestions on how to fix it. And he freaked out on me and was like, oh, you're not in your feminine. This is why I don't like this. Stop trying to fix my problems. I just want you to be there for me. And I was like, it wasn't the nicest way to say that at all. And it was very mean. And I realized how toxic this whole situation was. But it really did point out like, okay, I don't need to fix a man's problems. I don't need to show up for this in the same way that he tries to show up for me. That's not my value. That's not what I bring to the table. Let me just provide this safe space for you to open up and be vulnerable and be upset. And I'm here to listen. That goes so far. Women do not even realize how powerful we are. But it's not coming from a place of entitlement. It's coming from a place of knowing that I'm worthy of the things that I need from a relationship. And it's okay to have needs in a relationship without feeling guilty of, oh, well, this man can't do it, then that's not my man. That's fine. And if a man has a problem or feels triggered by that, then that's on him that he doesn't feel like he's good enough to provide for a woman, because the right man wants to provide. It feels good to be in his masculine. I'm that man that's her superhero and she looks up to and feels inspired by and can put out any fire. Like, if a man doesn't feel good in that energy, he's so far in his feminine that I'm sorry, but I cannot, will never be with a man that I feel like I have to be stressed out. And truthfully, I think that the biggest determination of a successful relationship is as followed. When the guy feels like he wants to be the best version of himself, like he is encouraged by his women, because let's be honest, a woman believing in a man will make him move mountains. It is almost like magic. Problem is, if you're always bitching at your man, saying he's not good enough, saying he can't do this, why doesn't he show up for me, nagging him all the time, he's not going to be able to be the best man that he can be and reach the pinnacles of success that he needs to be, because he's with someone who does not believe in him. On the flip side of that, yes, the man has to want to be better for himself, but I also think that, is he providing a safe space for her to open up and be herself without any stress? If she is stressed out in that relationship, immediately it's never going to work out. If she's stressed out because she's fearing his loyalty, she's fearing if he's going to provide for her, she's bending over backwards to put food on the table for them, she's a breadwinner in the relationship. If she's stressed out, that relationship is bound to fail. The woman has to feel equally as good in the relationship. If she's pouring all the energy into a relationship, it's never going to work. If he's pouring all the energy into the relationship, it's never going to work. But it has to be the man wants to be a better man and the woman feels safe. That is a successful relationship to me. But that is it for this week's episode. I hope you guys get value out of this. And if you have, again, hit that 5-star rating, turn on your bell notifications so you'll never miss another episode. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next Tuesday.